Cheers everybody, welcome back to another beer review, and in this beer review we've got a new BrewDog double IPA which has been in Tesco for the past couple of weeks, and we've got a can of their Pinball clocking in at 8% ABV. There you go. Am I going to start on some BrewDog bashing in this video? No, I'm not. It's going to be based on the beer. If that beer is shit, I will bash some BrewDog. Do some BrewDog bashing. But if the beer is particularly good, I will tell you. I'll be honest as I can. So, I've got the BrewDog website up. For some reason, it didn't let me in. Most of all knew who I was. Anyway, we've got the malts are pale ale, dextrin malt, torrefied wheat, malted oats. Calling this a double dry hop double IPA. The hops are Citra, Mosaic, Talus, Cryo, Crush family. So there you go. You know what? You know, my overall opinion of BrewDog is frustration. They're the most frustrating brewery, I think, in the world, because they are more than capable of brewing beers which could floor you all and me, but they seem to go down the supermarket route of producing shite. So I'm looking at this beer. Yeah, great marketing, Pinball. It says, what's it say on the website there? It says Pinball is a sensory overload of double dry hop dipper with Citra, Mosaic, Talus, bouncing off bumpers of notes of grateful coconut and juicy oranges. Score a few of these and become the ultimate pinball wizard. That's, you know what? I've said this before in a video. Students, people who wear checked shirts and unruffled hair, people who are high intelligence on paper and know how to pass an exam, but when it comes to normal, everyday tasks which you need to do to live, have no common sense whatsoever, go for beers like this. So let's crack this open and see what we get. I can't remember how much I paid for this. Hopefully it wasn't a lot. Yeah, it smells like a beer with cryo in for me. You get the coconut type of note, which you get with cryo. There's a slight fruity note there. To be honest though, it does smell okay. There's a hint of dankness there behind it all, but we'll give it a go. Now, past 3 or 4 years on this channel, I've been really blessed with having bottle shops near me. And to be honest, I haven't been in a bottle shop for a good couple of months now, and I need to get back to getting back to Lamplight and stuff to pick up some beers. Reason being is because bottle shops for me at the moment are a little bit expensive. Hence, I've got to go to the supermarket and make do with this. Anyway, beer in a glass, hazy, custardy, thin in head. Let's get a whiff. Pick up that cryo straight off. Grapefruit, maybe. There's a slight fruity note there. I can't distinguish what fruity notes there are in the aroma. There is a hint of dankness. I'm going to go in. Cheers, everyone. There we have it. Straight away. There we have it. 8% double IPA in Tesco. You know what? I could do this through a blindfold. Blindfold me, and I know straight off that is a supermarket beer. And the reason why I say that is because of the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel for me gives it all away in a supermarket dipper. I'm not saying at the moment, I'm not really going to get my claws into this. Because I'm thinking to myself, comparing it to a lot of the other BrewDog beers, where does it stand, blah, blah, blah. But first off, it's the mouthfeel, which is the giveaway. Straight off, as soon as you go in, the mouthfeel, the hot presence in taste, gives it away. Gives it away. What do I think of it at the moment? Well, I've had some brilliant dippers over the years. But they're all from bottle shops. They're all from places which import dippers in from America or whatever. The brilliant dippers are from the likes of Rivington and stuff like that. So when you come to the supermarket, the dippers I feel you're getting in the supermarket are basically like this one. What sets something like an imported dipper or a bottle shop dipper apart from the supermarket dipper is the actual feel of the beer itself. For me, a dipper from a bottle shop, from smaller breweries, there's a little bit more substance to the body of the beer. There's more creaminess, if you want, from the body of the beer. It feels slightly more luxurious in a way. There's more substance in the body of the beer, for me, from a smaller brewery. When you go to a supermarket and you get a dipper, you get something exactly like this. What you get, quite a hard mouthfeel, quite a generic mouthfeel, because this mouthfeel is reminiscent to all the BrewDog beers out there. It's quite a hard, refreshing mouthfeel. Then the flavours, the flavours you do pick up, but they're slightly subtle. You're picking up the grapefruit, you're picking up a slight coconut from the cryo, you're getting a slight hint of spiciness and oranges. But for me, when I look at this dipper, the hops are there to hide the alcohol ABV. It's 8%, remember. It needs to have a tweak in that recipe to hide the ABV. So you don't pick it up in the taste. You don't pick up that nasty alcohol burn at all. It does not, it does not bear any significance. You don't pick it up. And for me, I think that's where the breweries do in the supermarkets. They tend to hide the ABV in their dippers with their hops. And what you get is a sacrifice in mouthfeel and flavour. And for me, it feels it in this beer. Now, comparing it to all the other BrewDog releases, where does it stand? It could have been a lot worse. There's nothing worse than having a dipper where you pick up the alcohol and there's not much in terms of flavour or depth. The flavour is there, but it's there for a different reason, like I say. In terms of BrewDog releases, it does feel slightly bland, to be honest. It does feel slightly contrived and forced. It doesn't feel like a beer brewed with love. It doesn't feel like a beer brewed with integrity. It feels like a beer. They signed the contract. You want an 8% dipper. We'll fucking brew it for you. And that's exactly what this beer feels like. But the most criminal thing is that there's people out there. I go back to the students thing again. Who, tight budget, £4 or whatever for 8% dipper, they'll buy it. you know, and they won't know anything else because of the price. Because of the pricing, they will not know anything else. And it's a shame because there's breweries out there churning out dippers which will blow this to smithereens. And, you know, because of the hold supermarkets have on the consumer in the UK, you know, there's some people out there who will buy this and I think, yeah, that's great beer, but you know, they'll never experience, you know, the type of dippers you can get in your bottle shops, you know, imported from America, you know, Rivingtons or whatever. And it's a big shame. And I think we're getting to a point in beer culture where you've got certain beer buyers who will just stick to the supermarkets, and you've got certain beer buyers who go to the bottle shops, and it's kind of like split in a way. So for me, what do I think of this? In terms of supermarket quality, it's all there. You know, I could really diss this beer if I wanted to, but at the end of the day, it's £4 a can, something like that. 8% dipper. What do you expect? BrewDog, what do you expect? What do you expect from BrewDog? You know, in the supermarket, you're not going to get a beer which is going to really floor you. For me, my favourite BrewDog beer in the supermarket, if I've got it up there, I think I've got rid of it. The one with the cat, the Lucky Strike or whatever it is. For me, that's not bad. For me, this is a little bit bland, a little bit safe, and it's everything I expected. Boys and girls, that's the only way I can say about that one. Everything I expected, and that's about it. They must probably brew the same beer next year in the next supermarket drop, but put a different wrapper on it. See you on my next one. Look after yourselves. Take it easy. Bib bib.